Okay, welcome to Techy Minister Video Broadcast number 1. This is the first video broadcast. It's taken a lot to get to this point, and I'm fairly excited but really nervous. So let's get on with it. Today we're going to talk about the iPhone 6 Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S5. These two phones, I just switched from the Galaxy S5 to the iPhone 6. Let me grab the phone here. Okay, so this is my Samsung Galaxy. Oh, get it in the shot there. 5.1 inch screen. And this is the new iPhone 6 Plus. And let's see. First thing we'll discuss, let's see here if I can switch back up to, okay, so let's see, I've got my notes here on my iPad and I'm not having good luck with it, keep shutting down here. Alright, so we're going to go through some of the specs between the two phones, and I'll give you some things that I've noticed. Of course, I've only gotten the 6 Plus today, so haven't had a lot of time to play with it or anything. Once again, I would like to welcome you to the Techy Minister broadcast. This is, I'm Thomas Cluse, and our website is www.techyminister.com, and you can catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/techyminister, all one word, and at Techy Minister at Twitter. So, okay, so the sizes of the phone. I start out with the 6 Plus is, I guess I need to hold it up with this hand. Ooh, disappear. The 6 Plus is about 6.2 inches tall and 78 millimeters wide, or that's 3 inches, roughly 3 inches, and it's about a little more than a quarter inch thick, 0.28 inches thick, while the GS5 is 5.6 inches tall, 2.8 inches wide, and 8.1 millimeters, or 0.32, it's almost a third of an inch, or a third of 0.32 inches, sorry. So you can see, if I hold them up both together here, you can see quite a bit of difference. So basically the iPhone 6 Plus is 11 inches, or 11%, sorry, taller, 7% wider, and it's 12% less thick. Now I have a Pelican case on the 6 Plus, and I have typically an OtterBox Defender for the Samsung, but I have it off, and I'll get into one of the things that gets my goat about the Samsung phone. Actually, it's any Android phone. It happens to all Android phones. In the weight, we've got the 6 Plus at 6.07 ounces, while the GS5 comes in at 5.11 ounces, which is quite a bit less weight, but when you take into consideration I don't know if you can see that, it's a plastic back, whereas it does have a metal ring, but it's not that great of a. It's not like the aluminum. The 6 Plus has a aluminum unibody form, and the design, of course, aluminum is a little more rigid and weighs more. Display wise, once again, the 6 Plus is 5.5 inches, and the GS5 is 5.1 inches. So really it's 0.4, less than a half inch difference, but the GS5 is it's only 86% of the iPhone 6 screen size. Both are 1920 by 1080, which is full HD. But the pixel density is what sets them apart on paper. The pixel density of the GS5 is 432 pixels per inch versus 401 pixels per inch for the iPhone 6 Plus. But really, you can't, it's not like you can notice the pixel density difference just by looking at the screen. Both screens look really, really good. There is a difference. We have the IPS screen, which is what the iPhone 6 Plus has, versus the Super AMOLED that the GS5 has. The next item is the fingerprint scanners. Both of them have a scanner. What's really nice with the 6 Plus is the scanner is built right into the button. And in the Samsung, it's into the button, but you have to take your finger and slide it across. The reader is in there, but you start, up high and slide your finger down. And it's quite a pain, actually, to get it to work every time. And it was one of the reasons that I picked the GS5 over the Note, was because the Note did not have the fingerprint scanner in it, and I thought that I really needed the fingerprint scanner. I leave my phone on my desk at work, and I figured that would keep people from messing with it. Well, it got to be such a hassle anytime I wanted to do anything with the phone at all that I just quit using the fingerprint scanner altogether and went to the simple where you draw your little design on the screen. NFC wise, the 6 Plus now has Apple Pay, while the GS5 has the old Google Wallet, and of course it has the soft card app. Water resistance, there is none for the iPhone 6 Plus, but the GS5 is IP67. The 6.7, the first number is dust protection, and 6 is the highest rating for the dust protection. The second number, in our case 7, 8 is the highest, and that can withstand extended periods of time with under pressure, but that would be 6.8. We are at 6.7, which means it can go to up to 1 meter of water, which is 3.3 feet, and stay there for 30 minutes. So that's really nice if you're in and around water. But like I say, the 6 has no water resistance or dust resistance at all. The case that I put on it does have military specs. I'm not sure. It's not going to have dust, any kind of dust protection, and you can see right there, that's the bottom, that's the charge port in the center, and the headphone jack, and of course then on the side you've got the switch right there for your vibrate. To the cameras. Now the cameras may set these two phones apart. The iPhone 6 Plus has a 8 megapixel rear camera and a 1.2 megapixel front facing camera. Now the GS5 has a 16 megapixel rear camera and a 2 megapixel front facing camera. So the GS5 will actually do 4K video. So I'm told. I've never experimented with it, but that's what I've always been told. It does take really nice pictures. I haven't played with the iPhone. I haven't played with taken any pictures yet. I do know that I don't think they did a lot of changes from the 5 to the 6 camera-wise. I'm not 100% positive on that. I haven't done any research, but I have seen pictures taken with the iPhone 6, and it looks pretty incredible. I don't think that there's a whole big difference. Apple does some really cool stuff with the camera, but as far as that goes, there's one issue that I always have, and that's if you're trying to load the camera in a quick, say you've got wildlife that you want to take a picture of. Well, you may not make that because the camera starts slow on the GS5. It does start up quicker on the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus. The aperture setting is the same at f2.2. The iPhone 6 has optical image stabilization, or OIS, and a dual LED flash, which the GS5 does not. Doesn't have any kind of image stabilization on the GS5. It does have a single LED flash, but I think Apple calls it True Color. With the dual, it just sort of blends everything a little better, so I'm told. Battery wise, the iPhone 6 Plus has a 2915 milliamp hour battery. The GS5 has a 2800 milliamp battery. I don't know exactly what the battery life is going to be. A lot of that depends on the operating system, what programs you have running in the background, that sort of thing. I have not seen any kind of bench tests comparing the two in a real world situation. I do know that I have to charge my phone, the GS5, have to charge it every day, no matter what. Sometimes if I watch a Netflix movie or something, Netflix show or something, during the day, I will have to charge it more than once. So I'll have to charge it during the day, and then again at the end of the day. I usually charge it overnight. Let's see, CPU and RAM. The 6 Plus has the Apple A8, which is a 64-bit dual-core. It's a 1.4 gigahertz processor. It's supposed to be one of the best on the market, so I'm told. I do know that everybody is trying to copy with the 64-bit. I don't know how much advancements have been made on the Qualcomm side. Qualcomm makes the Snapdragon processor, which is one of the more popular CPUs that are put into the Android devices. It has, the 6 Plus again has 1 gig of RAM. Now the GS5 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 801. It's a 32-bit processor, quad core with 2.5 gigahertz, and it has 2 gig of RAM. Now, I've used the GS5 for quite some time now, and I will tell you what, that if you have a lot of apps running, or the apps create files and leaves files all over the place, this thing slows way down. You have to use some sort of app to keep the junk files off, and you have to run it several times a day. I usually do it. Well, it pops up an alert usually 3 to 4 times a day saying there are junk files, the phone is slowing down, and boost it. And of course I used the Clean Master program, which did a pretty good job. It crashes somewhat on this particular device, but it does work pretty well. I don't know how much junk files are going to be with the Apple. I've had the 5 and I had the 4S, and it seemed like it wasn't an issue. As long as you would close your running apps that were running in the background, close them up, when you were done with them or you weren't using them anymore, that pretty much kept it in check. So I don't know whether that's whether there's an application for keeping your files clean or not, or whether it's going to be a big deal. We'll save that for after I've had the 6 Plus for a while, and I can do even a better comparison. This is basically specs comparison. One thing I do notice with the Android phone is there are certain applications that if they are left on and they sort of crash and they're using all the CPU. You can't do anything. You can't shut down your phone. You can't wake up your phone. You can't do anything. The only thing that you can do is pull the back off and pull the battery. And that's nice because you can take it apart, pull the battery. One bad thing is with the outer box case that has the rubber outer cover, when you take it off, you're stretching the rubber. So after a few times of taking it off, putting it on, you end up with a stretched out, and it doesn't fit very well, and of course that's not covered under warranty. So as far as that goes, it's nice that you're able to pull the battery if you get into that situation. The way I believe all you have to do a soft reset is hold the home button and the power button at the same time on the iPhone, and you can reset and reboot, and that's all good. As far as I have AT&T service, as far as waiting for Android 5, I thought that Android 5 was going to come out for the AT&T variant, but it did not. We got the update was 4.4.4, so we went from KitKat 4.4.2 to 4.4.4, and that was pretty disappointing. Everyone was expecting the Android 5, what they're calling Lollipop, never did show up. So that was very disappointing. But that's not Android's fault. That's not Samsung's fault. That's AT&T's fault. And for some reason, they've either run into some issues, or I have kind of noticed there are some issues here and there with the 5. I've talked to some people that have the Verizon model of the SG5, and they don't like Android 5. So that being said, switch here to, okay, so those are the iPhones. I want to leave you with a verse today, something that's hit me hard the last couple days. It's 2 Chronicles 7:14, and it's, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. And it really hits me because in today's society we have kicked God out of everything. We've kicked him out of schools. We've stopped community prayer. We've stopped, kids standing around the flagpole at schools and praying together. They're not even allowed to do that anymore in most places. And now they're taking the 10 Commandments out of courthouses and government buildings. And before you know it, In God We Trust won't even be on our money anymore. And we've pretty much kicked God out of everything. And that's going to be our demise. And I think this verse is a promise from God. This was, if we would just turn around, repent for our sins, and look back to God for our guidance, that, he will forgive us and he'll heal our land. And, right now we're one of the nation's superpowers, and I don't believe that we're going to be that forever. And I think times are coming that are going to be very, very tough for everyone in the United States, especially, but North America, Canada included, and Mexico, and just our whole continent, basically the whole country. Not the whole country, but the whole continent and the whole world we're going to be at war very, very soon. And the time is coming short. So I wish you all the best. Very good evening. And I pray that God pours his blessings out on you. And we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.